Hey everybody, this is Amy from raisingarrows.net, and today we're going to talk about using maps in your homeschool. I used to not be much of a map person. I don't really know why. Maybe I didn't have enough wall space, or maybe I couldn't figure out how to incorporate it, but it just wasn't something that was that important to me. Honestly, when I was in public school as a child, we weren't taught geography. I do remember in fourth grade learning the states and capitals, but other than that, I don't remember having any geography until I got to college, and a four-year university at that. So it was part of my major, and I needed to take it. So for me, geography was just not that important until I began to realize that we need to know where things are in this world. Anytime you hear something on the news or you read something in a book, you need to know, and your children need to know, the geography that surrounds that current event, that story, that missionary's life. They need to know these things. And so I began trying to figure out how to incorporate map work and geography into our homeschool. We use what's called mega maps. Mega Maps are an online free map. If you Google Mega Maps, you will find it. They can be printed off as one piece of paper, as several pieces of paper. You can actually make them huge and cover all your walls. I was told about these maps by a friend who actually had her entire hallway covered in these Mega Maps. We use our dining room wall. And this has been a really great fit for us because a lot of times we will do our schooling that involves map work around the dining room table, and we can easily see where the maps are, where these different things are happening. And I keep them up there all the time. So we actually get the benefit of eating right next to the maps as well. And that's a really great thing too. I remember hearing years ago about a family who kept maps underneath plastic on their table. I'd always wanted to do that, but it never really had worked out for us to do that. And so this is actually a much better fit for us. So that's Mega Maps. The second one I'd like to tell you about is Uncle Josh's outline map. This is a CD-ROM that you can purchase. You can get it off of Amazon or something like Rainbow Resource, and you can actually print out a lot of different maps, including maps of the ancient world. And this is especially helpful when you're doing ancient world history and you need more historic maps. The thing I have found about them, however, is that they are black line maps, and so you're not getting the maps already filled in. And for me, who, even though I took geography in college, I am just sort of geography deficient. So it's been really good for me to have something that's already been filled in. That is where another product from Tapestry of Grace comes in. It's called Map Aids, and if you're using Tapestry of Grace's program, all of their map aids actually follow along with the year programs that go along with Tapestry of Grace. So that's a really great option because there are maps that are already filled in, there are maps to work off of, and then there are the black line maps that are empty and you can do them yourself. So that's a really good option too. There are also tons of maps for free online. A lot of times if I need some sort of historic map, I will actually find one online, and sometimes we'll just follow along on the computer. I'll turn the computer screen so the kids can see it, and we will just look at the different, perhaps their battles or some sort of historic event that happened and the land masses or the countries have changed since then. You can get those online, and you can pull those up and let your kids see them, and even sometimes print them off. So those are just some options for using maps. I also would highly encourage you to invest in a nice globe. Globes are just really great visual, hands-on learning types of things, and so it's really good to have a globe in your home. We have one that sits on our bookshelf, and I bring it out for the children to be able to turn the actual map and see that the map is not a flat object. I'd also encourage you to take a look at my Teaching Geography Pinterest board. I have some different ideas there for teaching geography that I think would be really helpful to you. It is very easy. If you have your maps on the wall or readily available, it is very easy to take anything that you're reading. Say you are sitting there reading in your history, and you come across something in the history that is mappable. Well, it's very easy to just get up and go over to the map and put down where that is. Now, I know, again, if you're geography deficient, you are not going to know where that is as a parent. Google it. Quickly Google it. Look it up. Find exactly where it is. Print off your mega map or whatever map you're using. Get it up on the wall and go over there and just own it. It's okay if you don't know where something is. In fact, I tell my kids all the time, you know what? I had no idea that was there. And it's a learning experience for all of us. Um, Also, we use Tapestry of Grace, which I mentioned just a little bit ago, and in that curriculum, they have geography work every single week. That has been really good for me because it's given me exactly what I need to look at for that week. So perhaps we're studying David Livingstone, and I know I'm going to need to map Africa. We have mapped the Trail of Tears, we've mapped the Transcontinental Railroad, we've mapped the states as they've entered the Union because that's where we are in history right now. It has been fantastic. As wars happen, we map different European countries and all of that. And I am getting my maps from Mega Maps, not from Map Aids. I am looking into that, but right now I'm using the mega maps, and then I'm Googling it to see where certain things are. And then Tapestry also has a lot of that information in their actual curriculum, so I can look it up and I can see where different battles were, and I can point to them on the maps. I also sometimes have my older children look up some of the map work and teach it to us. So my son looked up the Civil War battles that were important to the war, and he walked us through the mapping of those Civil War battles. That was a learning experience for him. And that's the learning experience that I call learn, teach, learn. And I talk about this more in my book, Large Family Homeschooling, the Learn, Teach, Learn method. It is a fantastic, fantastic method to use in your homeschool. Put your maps on the refrigerator, put your maps, glue them to the kids' notebooks. Have a notebook for them that is just for maps. But I would very much encourage you have them visually available all the time. There's going to be conversations that come up that you need to be able to see the map on the wall and point to it quickly and not ask them to have to get their map out of their notebook. And then one final word of encouragement for you. As your children get older, and I'm talking teenage years, introduce them to current events. This is super important, and this is something we've done with our oldest, and then we're getting ready to transition into with our next oldest. Introduce them to current events. Current events and geography go hand in hand, and they need to be able to know on a global scheme where these events are happening. So as you've given them that geography and that knowledge of the world, they will be able to put that to practice with current events and know exactly where things are happening on the world stage. So that is my last tidbit of advice there for using map work in your homeschool. I hope you'll start seeing that you can easily incorporate this into just about anything you teach, and that you will get out there and just not be afraid of geography anymore.